welcome to an episode of Meraki Style Studio.
We can work on that.
Hi, welcome to Meraki Style Studio.
Where we are both the owners. I am Victoria Cromwell.
And I am Rodrika. So yes, this is from, I guess you can guess from the title, this is Get to Know Us tag, so you know a little bit more about us. And so we're gonna ask each other a couple of questions. That way you can get a feel for like who we are.
And for those who don't know what Meraki Style Studio is, we are a sewing company. We are here to teach y'all how to sew. So
yes.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Get ready. All right, so first question. Miss Victoria, tell me about yourself.
Well, I decided to start sewing when I was very young, and I decided to take that into account in my career. So I went to Savannah College of the Art and Design and branched out with my sewing after that. But I've done fashion sewing mostly, but I do know how to sew anything. So now we're at the point where any project is not too broad on the sewing spectrum, and I wish to teach y'all more. So that's why I'm here. And you, Rodrika?
Me. So my name is Rodrika, aka Miss Style Boss. I'm mainly a handbag designer, so what I like to mainly sew. I didn't go to school for fashion design. I ended up going for marketing, but then later after I graduated, I did end up finding a master tailor, and I went the route of learning how to sew through, he's actually on YouTube as well, Gentleman Jim. So,
shout out.
Yeah, and I've learned how to make clothes, but I learned that I like more bag designing more. So that's a little bit about me. All right. So, Miss Victoria, when did you know that you wanted to go into fashion, aka be a fashion designer?
Well, like I said, I learned very young that I wanted to be an artist. So like this was elementary school. I really wanted to either be a hairstylist or a fashion designer. And I started that because you take the surveys and all the tests to tell you where you're placed. Mm-hmm. And every test was pointing to that. So at Drew School, I took all the artists classes and I took home economics, and I just went performance at the performance of sewing and fashion and art. And I took that and I was like, well, this is my career. There's nothing else. I don't see nothing else. And that's what brought me to here. And how about you? When did you want to know that you wanted to be in fashion?
It definitely was the transitioning from 8th grade to high school. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to be, but I knew I didn't want to be a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, or any of those traditional things. And I brought a book in her shoes. And I remember praying to God, and I was like, what is it? I didn't even open the book and start reading, but it was like a book of like 100 different jobs that women do. And I didn't even like open the book and really read thoroughly through it. But I prayed to God. I was like, show me which career path that you want me to go in. I took a nap, and my dream was a fashion designer. And I opened up the book and I read about fashion design, and I was like, it makes total sense because I always drew. I always was like, still playing with Barbie dolls. I like, styling people every time I went into the mall. Like, this is what I would, like, this is how I would style people. This is how I would, So I just had a long path of, like, doing things in fashion. Didn't really realize that could actually be a career path.
So God pointed you in that purpose,
right,
direction.
Yeah. So
I'll ask this question. So what sewing machine do you use?
So currently I use excuse me, I can't even say the name, y'all. A Singer heavy duty sewing machine. I don't know the number of it. I believe it's the higher number one because it's like 2 different ones. Can't remember. And then also I have 2 brother machines, basic machines. Again, don't quote me on like the number or the type of machine that it is. But I have it
straight stitch,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah, straight stitch, basic machine, heavy duty is the main one I use because I do like working with leather and stuff like that. So,
well, I use a Singer, and I do have a brother, which I gave to my mother, and rhymed. And I also have a Singer cover stitch machine, which I use the cover stitch and serge. At work, I use industrial path and a Kanso, and I use a Juki sometimes. So I do have like a broad spectrum of machines. So if you have any questions, let me know.
yes. All right. How big is your fabric stash?
Is that a question? Well, let's just say I have half of it in my room and half of it in storage. How about you?
I was like, you want to put the camera so y'all can see? So that was just a snippet of, so fabric stash. Cause I'm thinking about like homes. So I like have 2 homes, like where I'm from and then like where I live now. So like back at home, over the years I've collected stuff that I didn't bring with me when I moved to a different state. So I got a stash there. But it's not too bad.
Oh, I didn't know you had more.
Yeah, like more there. And then here I have, like I'm looking at it. Wow, I have a leather stash of like leather fabric, and then also, oh yeah, so and then in storage I went fabric shopping like this past summer or whatever, and bought a lot of fabric, and yeah, that's in storage right now, and that's kind of a lot, but it's a lot, but I feel like our lot isn't a lot to what I've seen people on YouTube. True. A lot.
True, because like, when you're a sewer, they always give you stuff. You always get something. Or you see in the store, you're like, I have to have it. It's just it's a sewing thing. Yeah. You know, you're like, ooh. So,
eventually I might end up doing something with it. But yeah, I feel like if you see our stash, maybe even our stash together, I feel like it's small compared to people I've seen. If you watch YouTube videos and you see these people, I'm like, oh, they got a lot of stuff. And I feel like it look like I'll have nothing compared to them. So, it may seem a lot, but it's not a lot. But yeah. So, Victoria, what is your favorite thing to make?
Well, my favorite thing to make is men's and women's pants, because even when I learned how to start making clothing, that was the one thing that turned out good. And like, who doesn't love the fly and the pockets? And then, like, you have 4, pieces for legs. It's just, it comes naturally, and I love that garment making, period. How about you?
My favorite thing, okay, I know I already said that I like making bags, but garment-wise, I like making jumpsuits. I don't know, it's just one piece, and I just like making them. Like, I wouldn't say they're simple, per se, because I mean, I always choose a simple pattern, but I just like, it's a one piece, and I don't have to make 2 things. I don't have to make a shirt and a pair of pants to complete an outfit. It's just one thing, put it on, there we go, we got our outfit.
You ready to go? I know.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Jumpsuit.
Yeah. So that's my favorite things to wear too, like a jumpsuit. Like, go somewhere, we're gonna jumpsuit it out, because again, we gotta find the top and the bottoms, jumpsuit. So yes, that's mine.
Real.
So what is your proudest thing that you've made?
Proudest thing? Oh, let's think about that. I think it was my last collection, which was 2019 actually, and I made like 10 outfits.
If you had to choose one,
and one
outfit or piece, which one is your?
It would have to be what I made for my sister, the long dress. It was it wouldn't be a gown, but it's for special occasion. It was a long dress, and I did a textile that I made for the top out of fake leather. And I have to say that would have to be the best thing, because it was 2 different weights of fabric.
Can we insert a picture, like right here somewhere? I don't know. Put a picture. We're gonna figure out how to insert a picture so y'all can see it, or a video, a clip. For me, it has to be my shorts. Like, it was the first thing that, just the first or second thing that I learned how to make. when in sewing school, and yeah, it was, y'all, them shorts, they look like I bought them out the store. The pockets, everything. I think that's the best thing like I've made like since sewing, and that's my. I'm very proud.
Oh, those denim.
Yeah, I'm very proud of those denim shorts.
She is very.
I'm very proud of those denim shorts. Like it looked like you bought them out the store straight out. Everything from it had the banner, the band, and the zip, the 5 zipper, the pockets, and then the
Really
zippies.
nice.
Yes.
What motivates or inspires you to sew?
What inspires me to sew is 3 things. One is now that I know how to sew, when I go into the store, I like going to like Dillard's is my favorite store, in case y'all ain't know, or like into Nordstrom or somewhere where the quality of sewing is like really good. You can get quality clothing. I don't know, when I see things that are nice, I'm like, ooh, I want to buy that. But then I be like, but you can go home and make that. And so that inspires me, y'all. Now, do I make it? No, but it inspires me. And it's saving money in my pockets because I used to shop all the time. 2, Instagram. Just going to Instagram, or maybe like sometimes I watch other YouTubers and stuff like that. And so it'll be like, oh, they sewing, or oh, that outfit's cute. I be inspired. I do see people I see their outfit and like, oh, that's cute, and try to imitate that outfit or something and make it my own. And 3, what motivates me to sew is listen to podcasts. Y'all, any way I can listen to a podcast, sewing is very therapeutic, and it's like, oh, that's the time where I can listen to my podcast and I can be sewing at the same time. So it's a win-win situation. So those are the 3 things that motivates me. How about you?
I don't have 3 points like her, all organized. But half of what you said, that same thing. Me going into the store and be like, oh, but I like going into Forever 21 and you're like, I can make this better. That's what I think.
Yes.
And then also when I complete a project, when you see your garment like out there, like even if you're, selling to a client and it's whatever, and they post their picture and you're like, it's like the proudest moment. It's like your kid went off to college and you're like, we made it 18 years, y'all. So that's the proudest moment for me, and it really inspires me to continue with that.
Yes, that's what inspires you. Alrighty, so most favorite and least favorite sewing task.
Cutting and pattern making. I do make patterns from scratch, and it gets tedious. The one thing about it is because when you don't have the space, and then you're like leaning over, your back hurts, everything else, and then when your scissors is not sharpened, you cut, it looks like this, like a zigzag when it's supposed to be a straight line. It gets a little bit hectic and aggravating, but once it's done, how about you?
Your favorite part?
My favorite part? I would say doing the finishing touches. So like hemming, and if you're sewing on a button, or you're pressing, those finishing touches, or you're seeing it on a motto and see how it fits. Everything's pretty much done. So that's my favorite part.
I was like, my least favorite part has to be, so she makes her own patterns. I actually use store-bought patterns for the most part, unless I'm making a bag and I just kind of wing it. My least favorite part is the cutting. It gets tedious. The cutting out, you just like, I just want to already cut out. But my favorite part is when it's done. When everything is just, like, honestly, you just happy. Like, it's done. Like, that's the part you just, like, after you just want it. Like, you have this idea, and you just want it done. And that's the favorite part. Like, once it gets done, it's just like, yes, I did this. I can be proud of this. And, yes.
Agreed. See? I'm not the only one. We agree.
What do you enjoy about sewing?
What do I enjoy about sewing? Again, like you said about it's therapeutic. Like I can come home. I sew. So I do have a job there. I sew gymnastic Leos. And there I sew, and then here I sew. So I come home and I sew some more. And sometimes I just put in my music and go, zzz, and she can hear it going, and I've gotten knocks on the wall and stuff like that. But like, I can knock out. Right now I'm making headbands because it's like a quick thing to do. And I can knock them out because all I'm doing is just going. And that's the one thing about your sewing machine. You know, once it's in, all your threads in, or whatever, and your needle's perfect, all you gotta do is press the threadle and go. So I think that's one thing that I like that is the therapeutic.
Okay. So on the part I enjoy about sewing, I wouldn't necessarily that it's therapeutic for me, because it's kind of opposite. I be kind of feeling stressed. I don't know. I was talking to someone about that because when I'm be taking out the stitches, you know, you be taking, because I have to sometimes, you know, gotta go back and we gotta make sure it's perfect. And so that can be like a little stressful part for me. But it's something that I enjoy, and this could be kind of therapeutic. I don't know. But like when I'm listening to a podcast and I'm sewing, it's just something that does calms me a little bit. But then also the main part is I enjoy making a finished product. Like I enjoy, like, I had this idea and now I'm going through the process of making it done, and so that's why I enjoy doing it.
Okay. What's your sewing goals? Even for this, our company, what's a sewing goal? You know.
So my personal sewing goal is to at least make one outfit, a new outfit per month, because I don't really make garments as much anymore, but I would like to transition my wardrobe, because people always ask, like, you tell them that you sew and that you're a designer, and they're like, oh, did you make that, and it's like, no, I didn't make anything. I got a couple of outfits that I did make, but I would like to add more of that to my wardrobe that I can wear on the daily and, like, you know, advertise. For us, our sewing goal is we will soon be having a webinar coming out, so stay tuned, and we'll be launching a sewing academy, which is aka the reason why it's called Meraki Style Studio. So getting that in the process, getting that to y'all is definitely the goal right now for me. So what about you?
Personal goal actually is to be continuous, stop procrastinating, and I have reached my goal for the month. Praise the Lord.
She be sewing every day. I'm like, oh, I be feeling bad because, again, this month I ain't made nothing yet, and you know it's 3 more days left in the month. But she be sewing every day, so I do commend her on.
And even if I don't sew, I'm doing something on the aspect of it. If I'm cutting, if I'm researching, if I'm drawing, or like I have this mental list that I'm going to make for the next time. So it's being continuous with, you know, what you plan to do for the next how many days out of the week. You know, if you can get your mind focused on that, then you'll be able to reach more goals on that. Another goal for our business is not only we're going to touch y'all through our, you know, personalities and sewing, is to actually reach out to people that aren't, you know, savvy with supplies and not just sewing, fabric and machines and stuff like that. We're going to touch y'all in those aspects too, because a lot of people learn to get this machine and they're like, you don't need all those stitches. And, you know, we're just going to make it simpler and easier for y'all. And I hope we can do that in the next week.
Yes. So thank you all for watching us. Yeah, so please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know some of your questions. I mean, like some of your answers to, like, you know, what's your favorite thing to make? There you go. What's your favorite thing to sew, to make? Or if you don't make anything as of right now, why do you want to learn how to sew?
So leave some feedback.
Yeah. So drop it down in the comments. And then also, yeah, you want to subscribe because soon we'll be going live here on YouTube, and we'll be talking more about our virtual studio. And you don't want to miss that, especially if you want to learn how to sew. So we'll see you all in another video. See y'all later. Bye.